Okay, so I'll start with a digital to analog converter. So digital to analog converter means your input is a number and you are generating a voltage signal from that. So what you have to do, first you have to decide what is the unit voltage, and then sampling rate will come later. But first fundamental thing is how do you generate a unit voltage for a number. Okay, I'll take a simple example. I have a voltage source which is called Vref, and I have connected 8 identical resistors in series from Vref to ground. Okay, 8 identical resistors, that is more important. Resistors are identical. So if the resistors are identical, what will be the voltage across each resistor over here? The voltage across each resistor is Vref by 8. And then what I have done is that I have connected 8 selection switch which will help you to select the voltage from any from each of these resistor junctions to the output. So if you select switch 1, let's say I have a number input which can vary from 1 to 8, and if number is 1, I select S1, that means the output is 0. If I select S2, the voltage between the first resistor junction gets selected and gets conveyed to the Vout, and so on. So based on, and at a time I select only one switch. So the output over here is nothing but representation of the number. So 1 means 0, 2 means Vref by 8, and 3 means 2 Vref by 8, 4 means 3 Vref by 8, and so on. So what happens? This is again nothing but a number, but the number converted into voltage. The output is a voltage which is represented by the number. Okay, so what did I do over here? First I had selected a reference voltage. What does it do? The Vref says this is the signal range. If your signal amplitude is more than 4 Vref, you cannot generate any signal which is more than 4 volt. Okay, so if you want to generate a 10 volt signal or 20 volt sine wave, plus minus 10 volt sine wave, you have to actually take a reference which is 20 volt, because plus minus 10 volt you are taking. You have to select a voltage reference which is more than this, then only you can construct a sine wave, otherwise it's not. So this is more important. This voltage Vref in every data converter gives you the range of the signal analog voltage. Okay, voltage across each register, this is important, this is the unit. So in this case, if you select Vref is equal to 4 volt, your unit is half volt, because you have created 8 segment of 4. Okay, and most of the time this is called LSB, least significant bit of a data converter. This is nothing but the unit. And Vout decision is made by the Mux control. This is called Mux, like you have multiple inputs and get selected to one. So at a time only one switch is selected. Okay. Now if you plot the input to output diagram for this, you can see it is still a discrete point, but you just have converted the number into voltage. You still don't have the time information over here, and you cannot generate any voltage in between. You can generate only 0.51, 1.52, and so on. So what happens if your signal, if you want to do a continuous analog signal, you cannot. You actually lost a lot of information. and that information is your decision, or the engineer's decision who designed the system, that how much information he can let it go. If we want more accurate data, then what you have to do? We have to increase the number of points. So we have to use more registers so that you get more points. That means your data width becomes more. So if I want to increase the accuracy to 0.25 fold, then I will take one more point between each of this. So I'll have 1 point over here, 1 point over here, and so on. And I have to, for that, I have to use 16 register. Okay, so that's the difference. So that if you want to increase the resolution, you have to use more registers. You want to, so more register means it is more costly. It will be more area, more power, and lot of more complications. So that increases the cost of the device you design. But if you're really not interested to um, have that much accuracy, you can use a cheap device. Okay, so that's a decision people make when they design the data converter. Okay, now we have to introduce the sampling step. So how do you generate the signal? If you have the digital number, that is data in for this, and if you have a clock, in this case I'll say this is 50 microsecond. So if you refresh the data in every 50 microsecond, and data is fed over here, then the DAC this and then it goes to the 3 to 8 decoder. What happens is that every 50 microsecond you are updating the data. So every 50 microsecond you are updating the switch, which switch should be selected. Okay, so in time domain, if you plot them, then you get a staircase data like waveform, which will look almost like a sine wave, and you generate the signal. So that's called the sampling rate. The clock frequency, the data width in this in this implementation is decides the resolution. So that data width followed by the register and the switch put together will make the resolution. You can have bigger data, but if you don't have the equal number of registers and switches, then that is also wrong. But in general, the input data width is usually equal to the resolution. Okay, and the data rate, clock rate over here is the sampling rate. Okay, so now you know how to build a data converter. You know how to set the accuracy by selecting proper resolution, and you know how to control the sample rate. Okay, now with this I will put few fundamental questions which will help you to do a little bit more research and uh, gather top level informations on the industry related stuff. uh, Power consumption. So another parameter I have lost over here is that power consumption I have not explained, I have not said anything about it. But when you design a data converter, it comes under the cost, right? Nobody want to burn power for any application. So you have to always have to do it with a minimum power consumption. Otherwise, when somebody is choosing a data converter, they will always select by the lowest power consuming block. That's a figure of merit. Okay, so now the question is, can you design a 16-bit DAC with this concept? What happens? What are the limitations of this structure to extend the resolution to 16-bit? 16-bit means the number is 2 to the power 16, which is 16,000 plus. Now, can you have 16,000 identical registers in series and physically implement them? Think about the physical limitations. Okay. Second point is, can you do a data rate of 1 megahertz? Like, can we refresh the data every 1 microsecond with this structure? The switch and the capacitor at the output and the register value, right? Just this circuit may not be possible, or maybe possible, I don't know, but can you do it? Okay, now if you do it, what is the cost of a 16-bit 1ms space stack? Like, if you can design this block somehow, how much you can earn, or how much people pay for a 16-bit 1ms space stack? Just go do some Google, uh, identify some major manufacturer, 3 manufacturer for this kind of, for a data converter. So just do some Google and spend your time if you are interested. Okay, you'll get more feelings on the reality of the industry, where it goes, how, who prepares it, and all these things. Okay, I'll do the same thing for a analog to digital converter.